Alan Wa Salon. Welcome. You're with the Nasty Pastor, and I'm back with another chapter reading from On Isis and Osiris. I thank you for viewing. We're very, very, very close to wrapping this up. And I say this to you again, I thank you for viewing. And I gotta be doing it right. I gotta be doing it right. I done had some resistance. I done even had some, I ain't gonna say threats. You got what I'm saying? Excuse me. I'm not gonna say it was a threat, but I've had this, I guess it was a woman, unless it was a catfish account, asked me, why am I reading this? You got what I'm saying? Why? I laughed, ignored it. You got what I'm saying? I don't know if I blocked the person, but I laughed. You got what I'm saying? Because it's a stupid question from a stupid person. Last I understood, this America. Last I understood, I'm not a slave. Last I understood, I have the right to read, write, and protest. You get me? Read, write, and protest. Look, you with the Nasty Pastor. Once again, I go, Alan Wa Salon. I thank you for viewing. I thank you for taking your time out of your day, out of your busy schedule, and viewing to get some education. I tells you and explains to you, I'm a baby in this. But what I did on my own was self-teach myself. What I did on my own is realize that I have more understanding in this than most of you. Got me? Your platform got numbers, but your education is trickery. Your education is wicked. So I say to you this right here, straighten up and fly right. You got me? Please, straighten up and fly right. Look, please, go on over to my YouTube channel, OFM Kemet Edition. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and definitely put your notifications on. Let's get into this chapter reading of On Isis and Osiris, which is chapter 48. Let's proceed. Hesiod too may be thought when he makes the first elements of creation to be chaos, earth, Tartarus, love, to assume no other first principles than those aforesaid. You get it? What's the first element of creation? Earth. Let us therefore distribute his names and assign them thus to Isis, that of earth, to Osiris, that of love, to Typhon, that of Tartarus. For his chaos seems to imply a certain place or basis for the universe, and the case somehow or other recalls that fable of Plato, which Socrates has related to the symposium concerning the birth of love. How that poverty, being desirous of having children, laid herself down by the side of wealth as he was asleep, and conceiving by him, brought forth love, who is small and of every shape, inasmuch as he is the offering of a father that is good, wise, and competent for all things, but of a mother that cannot help herself, destitute, and through her need is always attaching herself to someone else and suing to someone else. For his wealth is no other than the primal lover, projector, finisher, and all sufficient, and by poverty he means matter, which is by itself in need of the good one, is impregnated by him. is ever craving and ever receiving. Whilst he that springs from the two, the world of Horus, is neither eternal, nor free from passions, nor incorruptible, yet being ever reborn, contrives by means of the changes and revolutions of the passions to continue always young and never to be destroyed. Man. Let me say this to you right here, you know what I mean? To keep anything going, you have to have a young ear. You have to have young actions. You feel me? You get it? It has to evolve through the times. It has to have a domino effect which has a trail to it. You feel me? Let's finish this up. For we must make us of myths, not entirely as histories, but taking out of them that which is to the purpose and is in the form of a similitude. When therefore we speak of matter, we must not borrow our notions from the certain philosophers and think of it as a body without soul. Uncreative, ideal, uncreative, idle, and inactive of itself, for we call oil the material of perfume, and gold of an ornament, though they are not devoid of every quality by themselves. And I'm going to pause right there because I want to say something right quick, you know. Now, this the oldest culture on this rock. When you out here talking to these street vendors, what are they? Usually they're of the Islam faith, right? 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 So when you go to them and ask for some smell good, what they call it? Oil, right? That's something else taken out my community. That's something else taken out my culture. You understand me? You get me? You get it, right? Let's go and get back in this. And the soul itself and intellect of man we have over to reason to beautify and to regulate as being the material of knowledge and virtue. And the mind some have made out to be the region of ideas and a thing modeled after the intelligible world. And some are of opinion that the seed of generations is not a power nor final cause, but only the material and instrument of generation. These theorists who ought to follow and conceive this goodness as having part in a primal God, and ever joined with him out of love for the God, for the goodness and beauty that surround him, yet is never satiated, but like as we say that a man who is obedient to the law and what is just is enamored of justice, and a virtuous woman that has a husband and lives with him always desires him. So we must conceive this goddess as always craving after the good one, though she be ever in his presence and is ever being filled with the most powerful and purest influences. So I ask of you women, I really do ask of you women, why do you go out here and seek the most evilest person in the world? Why do you? You fall in love with the most unrighteous man you could find. And they're your boo-boo. Yeah, that's your love. That is your lifeline. Without that man, you die. Why? When that man leaves you, you cry. You go back into a whorish phase. You get on drugs. You disown your kids. You be very disrespectful to your kids. Very distant from your kids. Why? Why? Come on, man. Why? Opposites attract, right? You the good one, but you like to be around the bad, right? 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 I get you and I understand you. But aren't we in a time where that we need some peace? We need some structure in the peace we are presenting to our children? Don't we? Don't we? Okay. If you're in agreement, then I must say this right here. If you're in agreement, what was we at? If you're in agreement, let me see some actions, not in 5 years. Let me see some actions between 1 to 2 years, because I would like for you to digress. You understand what I'm saying? Digress. I would like for you to purify yourself, purify your thinking. You understand? Purify it. Get off the drugs. Put the alcohol down. Put the marijuana down. Put the cigarettes down. Put the hookah down. Put the heroin down. The meth down. The fentanyl down. Put the bath soap down. If a man's genital part, and when I say man, I mean woman and man, because we in a world where that having relations with the same gender is acceptable. You understand me? Put it down if that's a drug to you. If that's addictive to you, put it down. Purify yourself. Get your mind, body, and soul right so you can think straight. Is enamored of justice, and a virtuous woman that has a husband that lives with him always desires him. So we must conceive this goddess as always craving after the good one, though she be ever in his presence and is ever being filled with the most powerful and purest influences. I had read that part, right? Purest influences. A lot of these influences out here are tainted. A lot of these influences out here feel that if I tell you something backwards, then you're going to go and do something right. And most people not like that. Most people looks up to you because you are a, how to put it, you are a hero in their life. And to tell them backwards because they are hard-headed, that ain't how they do that. You got what I'm saying? My mama tried something with me where that if I'm correct, she was speaking to me backwards. So I did it the way she spoke it to me. If she would have said it a different way to me, she would have got a different result from it. So I don't ever want to hear, he don't even help his mama. He don't even love his mama. You got what I'm saying? She told me do what she said. So that's what I'm going to do. What she said. But where Typhon intrudes, laying hold of the extremites in this case, where she appears to be of sad countenance, and is said to mourn and be seeking after certain scattered members of Osiris, and to robe the same. She is receiving into her lap and concealing the things that were destroyed in the same way as she again brings to light the things that are born, and sends them forth out of herself. For the things that be in the heavens and the stars, the reasons, forms, and emissions of the God are unchangeable, whereas those disseminated through the things subject to passion, namely in earth, sea, vegetables, animals, are interchangeable, perishable, and buried, and again afterwards come to light once more, and are made visible by their birth. For which reason the fable tells that Nephites was the wife of Typhon. Come on. Now we are in agreement that Typhon, because this book tells you Typhon is Satan. Typhon is the devil. but that Osiris lay with her by stealth. You get me? By stealth. You know what stealth means, right? You don't see it. You don't get to witness that, right? You don't get to see that. The same thing as the birth of Horus. Isis, Osiris did not, have sex with Isis to have Horus. The same thing with Mary and Joseph. Joseph didn't have sex to have Jesus. Because the extreme parts of matter, which parts they denominate Nephites and in, are chiefly possessed by the destructive power, whereas the generative and life-giving principle distributes amongst them but a weak and dull seed, and which is destroyed by Typhon, except what little Isis takes up and saves and nourishes and unites together. For on the whole, this world is more good than bad, as Plato suspected, as well as Aristotle. Did y'all catch that part though? The seed is weak and dull. You caught that part. You understand why most women out here look for the alpha male? They don't want no little weak kids. They don't want no little kids that all they do is follow. They want kids that are in this world that have enough common sense to say no, to stand up against you, to speak up against you, to fight. You understand what I'm saying? You get it. An alpha male should be looking for an alpha female. You understand what I'm saying? Some of y'all go out here and look for the weak woman and don't realize this is why things didn't go right. You understand me? I love most of these women I've dated. I love these women I've had sex with. But they're not alpha women. Nothing about them makes them an alpha. You got what I'm saying? They're not strong. You got what I'm saying? They not timid, but they are weak. They will give in. You feel me? Because of their situation, because of the issue they're in, they will give in. And honestly, they could be right. You feel me? You feel me? I'm going to say this to you again. You know what I mean? I know I'm an alpha male. I know there's been a time I've led myself wrong. I know there's been a time that I have took your advice just to see where it would lead me. You get me? I live off faith. I can accept anything you can tell me the truth about. I know how to let go. I've been know how to let go, because I'll leave you in a heartbeat. I give you every chance in the world till I can't give it to you anymore. You understand what I'm saying? There are things I prayed for that I give up to whom I prayed to, and I let it go and never talk about it. I believe in me, and I also believe in you. Anywho, anyway, you've been with the nasty pastor. This has been a chapter reading from our ancestors on Isis and Osiris. Look, go to my YouTube channel, OF Kemet Edition. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Definitely throw them notifications on. Go to my Facebook page, OFM, on Isis and Osiris. Follow, like, share, comment. Throw them notifications on. I love you, and I'm out.